2,000 years ago, before refineries and machines, Europe discovered the taste of sweetness.
This was the birthplace of Europe's first sugar workshop, Enigel, a fusion of craft, patience, and fire.
This was the factory of its age, powered by fire, muscle, and imagination.
Ritmo plectuntur, cantuaccio e sudore ducuntur.
2,000 years ago, in the dawn of empire, sweetness grew wild beneath the Roman sun. Before paved roads or iron wheels, trade moved at the pace of the ox. Before paved roads or iron wheels, trade moved at the pace of the ox. Families worked side by side, binding the raw sweetness of their land. Sweetness entered the gates, still wrapped in the dust of the fields. They sought the heart of the plant, mane, pale and fragrant, full of promise.
Clean hands and clear water prepared the harvest for the furnace.
With strength and rhythm, they crushed life from cane and root alike. The first nectar of sweetness, raw, earthy, and alive. Through corridors of clay and smoke, they brought their harvest to the flame. Here, the air itself tasted of fire and sugar, a home, the birthplace of transformation.
The same stalk that yielded sweetness now fueled the forge.
With no instruments but the senses, they learned to read the language of bubbles. Wisdom flowed from eye to hand. Judgment was their thermometer.
Molten sweetness met stone, fire meeting earth in harmony. Molten sweetness met stone, fire meeting earth in harmony.
Air became the silent craftsman, cooling what flame had awakened. They measured progress not by numbers, but by memory. In the dim hours, refinement began, clarity born from repetition.
While the world slept, the flames kept their vigil tie, forging the first crystals of civilization's sweetness.
The fires slept lightly. Even sunrise bowed to the rhythm of the cauldrons.
Purity was earned by repetition, Frau, filtered by patience, brightened by stone.
Fire returned to me, the oldest ally of invention. They read change by hue and scent, not by number or clock.
Perfection lay in patience, the art of taking away.
When the syrup stretched like glass, they knew sweetness was near.
Earth-carved basins received the molten harvest. Wind and sun, Twingo, the twin artisans of the ancient world.
Every handful was turned like soil pernet. Patience cultivated flavor. Every handful was turned like soil pernet. Patience cultivated flavor.
Knowledge was carved in memory and clay alike. Even the stars watched over Europe's newborn treasure. They sealed it as merchants sealed gold.
Each mark told a journey. Unklarn, Valley, craftsman, fire.
Sweetness had taken shape, solid, golden, eternal.
Here sweetness slept, waiting to be spent like silver.
The day ended in calm, yet trade had just begun. From fire pit to market, the path of sweetness was paved by barter. The whole village shared in the pride of its creation. Sweetness crossed rivers long before it crossed oceans. Here, sweetness met civilization cap. Luxury unveiled to the masses.
For emperors and poets alike, this was ambrosia reborn.
And so sweetness left its cradle, bound for distant harbors. From root to crystal, from fire to fortune clabbery, the journey of sweetness shaped the world. From valley to vessel, sweetness began its voyage to the world. Measured by hand, valued like silver, traded like silk. With every gust of wind, the sweetness of one land became the desire of another. Across the Mediterranean, sugar rode the same waves that carried empires.
In every port, new tongues named it sweet stone, sun crystal, golden dust.
Here, the world met. Africa, Europe, and the East, all bound by trade and taste. Sweetness became currency, route, edible treasure. From coast to capital, caravans carried the flavor of civilization.
And finally, sweetness entered Rome, the heart of the ancient world.
What began as a villager's craft became a city's luxury.
Sugar transformed even the simplest grain into art.
Beyond food, it became perfume, a scent of paradise in mortal hands.
For the elite, sweetness was status, sushad, proof of distance, power, and connection.
The empire's palaces glittered not with jewels, but with the taste of fire and patience.
Even the gods were given a share, something, sweetness as offering of gratitude.
Below the city, sweetness waited in silence pay, wealth stored in shadow.
Where luxury exists, secrecy follows. Sugar's value birthed black markets.
From the Mediterranean sun to the northern cold, sweetness crossed every border.
For those who'd never known such taste, it was magic made real. Soon, every valley had its own small sun, burning for sugar. What began as curiosity became commerce, Tanafi, sweetness fueling an empire.
Knowledge spread faster than caravans, sweetness taught by firelight.
Even emperors taxed the crystal, proof of its worth and wonder. For the makers, sweetness meant survival. Agar, a legacy carved by calloused palms. Generation after generation, fire carried memory. Nature challenged them, yet the fires never died. After every storm, sweetness returned. the world began to remember in stone what hands had built in silence.
By road, by sea, by story quarry, the taste of sweetness traveled farther than legions.
From oxen to engines, the process changed, yet the soul remained.
What began here shaped empires, stories, and futures.